Alright guys, so we're going to work on a series of attacks using the Kiss of the Dragon, but with the spider bicep control to help us. Okay, so we're going to start here in the regular spider guard. Either she gives me the stance with this leg forward, or I create it by pushing her leg back, getting onto my hip, and making my reverse RIva hook. Okay? I don't want to extend my leg too much at first and load it up so it's easy for her to punch my foot off her bicep. Okay, I'm just here heavy on her bicep, keeping my elbow closed, strong grip. And I keep this grip for now, making sure she doesn't hug my head or grab my collar. Okay, so I'm going to start off balancing her. I'm going to start to tilt her forward first into like the direction of the knee slide, just to create an action reaction. So I start to tilt her. When I feel her resist, a lot of times I'll put the hand on the ground so she doesn't grab my collar. And then I'm going to let go and grab onto her ankle here. Okay, just a simple monkey grip on her ankle. From here, as she starts to try to posture up, I'm going to stomp on her bicep and I'm going to lift both hips, keeping my hook glued to her hip here and closing my knee on her knee. Okay, doing like a bridge, opening and closing my knees to the outside. Okay, as she starts to posture up, I go. When I put her hips on the mat, I keep control of her ankle, keep control of her sleeve. I'm going to take my foot off her bicep, keeping my knee closed on her knee, and I'm going to do a technical stand up here in this position. Okay, I like to keep control of the sleeve. From here, I start to block her hip. And I pop the foot off of my hip, and I get into a good knee slide position, keeping everything closed here. Okay, now we can start to work our knee slides. We can start to work our Coreano passes. Okay, getting a simple sweep where I tilt them to the side. So again, we start in this spider guard position, create a good angle, or she creates it for me. I'm able to get onto my hip and get the reverse RIva hook. Okay, I just start to work action reaction. She doesn't want me to spin under her and completely launch her overhead. Okay, so she starts posting her hand on the ground, okay, or just trying to keep her balance here. Okay, once I know her hand is occupied because she's trying to keep her balance, she's not going to hug my head or collar. I'm going to start to go to her heel. I feel her starting to posture back up. I'm going to use that reaction, ride that with her, okay, and stomp on her bicep and close my knee on her knee. Tilting her over, I get all the way to my other hip, keeping good control, squeezing my knee, and coming up into my passing position. Okay? Okay guys, now we're going to use that tilting sweep to create another reaction to help us use the spider bicep control to do the Kiss of the Dragon. Okay, so we're going to go into the same position here, double sleeve control from the spider, create a good angle, and get my reverse RIva hook. Now a lot of times they start to drop back to a combat base onto their knee here, so they have better balance. It's harder for me to tilt them over to this side, and I'm not going to be able to punch their sleeve under their hips as easily and launch them over my head. Okay. Again, I do not want her to grab my collar or hug my head. It's going to be really bad for me. Okay, so from here, I'm still working the action reaction. I make her post her hand on the ground. It's even easier when they're on their knee here. And now it's going to be safe for me for a second to grab her heel or her ankle here. Okay, just with a simple monkey grip. I'm not going to make the underhook. From here, again, I'm going to stomp. She's going to resist. As she starts to go the other way, that's going to load me to help spin. Okay, when she starts to resist, I'm going to start stretching my foot on her bicep, extending my hook on her hip, and I'm just going to roll from my right shoulder to my left hip. Okay? My spider bicep control is also helping load her over me. So more than me just having to go behind her, I'm bringing her over on top of me. Okay? And now because I had the spider control, it helped me spin where I didn't need to make an underhook. So my hand is right here. Much easier control. I don't have to untangle from the underhook. Okay? From here, I'm keeping the weight off of me. The first grip that's going to change is the one on your sleeve. I'm going to let go. I'm going to grab onto her hip. And then from here, I can make space. Pull my hook behind her knee. Start to double up on her back. And pull her into this baby bolo crab ride style back kick. She jumps down. I make her post her hand. I go to her ankle. Try to tilt her over. She resists. I use that reaction to spin to the other side. Okay? From here, I'm keeping the weight off of this leg. I'm controlling her leg on my hip here. I have my 2 feet on her hip and ribs. I grab onto her butt. I can make space and put my hook behind, or I can just leave my leg here, start to pull her onto my hamstring, and then kick her out with just one hook. A standard Kiss of the Dragon finish, but we're using this half spider control to help us spin. Alright guys, we're gonna do another Kiss of the Dragon using that half spider control, but now they're gonna give us a different reaction when we spin behind them. They're gonna backstep, and then that's gonna let us come up finishing in a sweeping position, similar to when we tilt them over. Okay? So we're here, we get to this half spider position, they drop down, I make them post their hand. Now from here, I take the tilt, or I make them react to resist this tilt sweep. Okay, and then I spin under. When I spin under now, okay, a lot of times from here, in the moment they react and they do a big back step. Okay, they explode and they step back. As soon as they step back, I'm just in the same exact position to finish. Okay, she needs to pull this leg out from under her to do the technical stand-up, and she needs to post on this sleeve. So I'm tight on the sleeve, squeezing my knee tight, pulling this leg out from under me, finishing in the same position that we initially started with. Here, the initial sweep that we attacked. Okay, where I can start to block her hip, kill her hook, and start to work my attacks. So we're gonna go a little bit faster. So as soon as I spin, a lot of times they react without thinking too much and they try to back step out of it. Okay, but because I have the control of the sleeve and the ankle, it's gonna be really hard for them to resist the sweep. So go, tilt, I spin, back step up, my technical stand up right into the sweep. Okay, one more time. Again. Okay. All right, guys, last reaction to the Kiss of the Dragon from the half spider position. Okay. This is usually the most common one that I find in tournaments and stuff that I've had the most success with. And also we're gonna see how, because I'm using the spider control to help me spin, I don't need to make an underhook necessarily to help me spin. Okay, so it's going to be really useful, the fact that I don't have to untangle my arm from this underhook position, okay, and I'm just holding onto their heel and ankle here like this with a simple monkey grip. Okay, so same thing, I'm going to start tilting them, they resist, it helps me spin under, okay, and now they're a little smarter, they know that if they backstep, they're going to put themselves right into a sweep. If they stay here, I'm going to start climbing on their back. So they start falling to their hip to try to escape me. Okay. From here now, we're in the exactly position I want for the berimbolo. You see how my leg here is basically like a RIva? Okay, and I have their hips on the mat. Now because I didn't have the underhook, I'm holding them right here. The first grip to let go again is the sleeve. As soon as I let go of the sleeve, I leave my arm here underneath my own hips, and it's super easy for me to pass the ankle to my own hand here. Okay, now I'm in the berimbolo position. I can start posting on her thigh to keep her down, getting a grip of her hip here, and spinning into whatever berimbolo position we like. Okay? So it's just another way of getting their hips to the mat instead of having to use our RIva hook. Okay, so when they run, they're putting themselves in the perfect berimbolo position for us. So again, we're here. We make them post so they don't control our head or collar. We attack, tilting them over, they resist. We spin under. Now they try to run away from our hooks. I let go of the sleeve, I pass her ankle to my hand here, I start posting on her leg, and now we're here ready to attack the berimbolo. Grab in the hip, again, you can go into whatever position you like. If we're not comfortable with the berimbolo, or we just want to get up on top and get our 2 points for the sweep, okay, we don't need to go into the berimbolo when they fall to their hip. Okay, so again, we attack the first sweep, we spin under, they fall, okay, I can just start coming up, bundling their legs. I use the momentum, swinging my leg back, and get into a good position on their legs. Maybe I can start connecting to a pressure pass. Okay. At the very least, I just make sure they don't stand up, and I get my 2 points. Okay. One more example of how we can just try to bail on the berimbolo and get into a good sweeping position. Again, they fall. Okay. I can start throwing my legs back, hugging their leg. If they stay on this hip, on this side hip, I start coming up into more of like a crazy dog position with my arm here. Okay. If they try to hip escape and face us, I'm already hugging their leg. Okay. So I can start to bring my arm under, drop my shoulder onto their sternum, and start going into our over-under cell pass. Okay. At the very least, again, we're getting on top, getting our 2 points.